We will continue with the Christmas story. Today we will read the story titled Alder Coe's Magic Coat. You may have heard of the scoundrel, Alder Coe. Well, let me tell you a story about him, and how he tricked a man. Once, there was a very cold winter. It was colder than any winter before. If you had a fox fur coat, you would be okay, but they were expensive. Alder Coe did not have a fox fur coat. He only had an old, cheap coat, and it was full of holes. One day, Alder was riding through a field. He was wearing his cheap coat full of holes, and he was very cold. His hands and feet hurt, and his nose was blue. He shivered and shivered. He wanted to find a yurt. In the yurt it would be warm and comfortable. But the wind was blowing loud and strong, and he only saw grass and ice. He saw no yurts and no fires. And the wind was trying to blow his ears off. "Come on, little horse," he said, and spurred his horse on. But the horse did not go any faster. It was old and thin, and it was also shivering. When the horse is bad, the road is long, he said to himself. He would have to ride for a long time, and there would be no yurts or fires. What would happen to him? Would he die? Then, Alder Coe saw someone far away. It was another man riding a horse. His horse was strong and swift, and Alder knew it was a rich man. The scoundrel had an idea. Rich men were often easy to trick. So Alder Coe opened his coat and stopped shivering, and he sang to himself. When the rich man rode to him, they stopped and said hello to each other. The rich man was wearing a fox fur coat, but he was still shivering. Alder Coe, however, had taken off his hat and was fanning himself. He looked like he was sitting under the summer sun, not in a cold field with a cheap coat. "How are you not cold?" asked the rich man. "You sit there fanning yourself like it is summer." "You may be cold under your fox fur coat," said Alder, "but I am very warm under my coat." "What? How can you be warm in such a coat?" Alder opened his mouth wide. "You really can't see it?" "What I can see is that your coat is full of holes," said the rich man. "There is no fur left. How is that warm?" "Ah, but that is what makes it so good," said the scoundrel. "The wind blows in through one hole, and, whoosh, it blows out through another. And I stay very warm." The rich man could not believe it. "I must have that magic coat for myself," he thought. But Alder Coe thought, "I must have that rich man's fox fur coat for myself." The rich man said loudly, "Sell your coat to me." "No," said Alder Coe. "Without my coat, I'll be so cold." "No you won't," said the rich man. "Take my coat. It is warm enough." "Ah," said the scoundrel. "Your coat for my coat? My coat is much better." He turned away with his horse, but the rich man stopped him. "Wait. I'll give you money as well." "I don't need money," said Alder Coe. "But if you give me your horse, I might think about it." Yes, of course." The rich man was very happy. He took off his fox fur coat and jumped off his horse. Alder Coe put on the fur coat, jumped on the swift horse, spurred it on and rode away. Now the scoundrel had a good horse and a warm fur coat. He spurred his horse from town to town with his new prizes. In every town, the people came out of their yurts and said, "Look, it's Alder Coe. Where did you get that wonderful fur coat and swift horse?" "I got them by giving a rich man my magic fur coat. It had 70 holes in it." And so Alder Coe told them the story about the rich man and his coat full of holes. He showed them how he had fanned himself and tricked the man. The people laughed and laughed, and they thanked Alder Coe by giving him yogurt to drink and fresh bread to eat. When the laughing finished, Alder Coe said, "You only know if the road is long or short after you have finished it. And you only know if food is good or bad after you have eaten it." God will bless you. We will continue with the Christmas story. Today we will read the story titled Open Sesame. Once, there were two brothers. One brother was rich, and the other one was poor. The rich brother never gave money to the poor brother. While the rich brother did nothing, the poor brother worked hard. He sold seeds, and he did not make a lot of money. Sometimes, he had no bread for his wife and children. One day, the poor brother was pushing a wheelbarrow through the forest. The wheelbarrow belonged to the rich brother. The poor brother borrowed it sometimes, so that he could look for food in the forest. But today, he found no fruit for his family. But he did see something strange. He saw a mountain, but he was sure that there was not a mountain there before. While he looked at it, 12 thieves walked to the mountain. They stood outside and cried, open sesame, up up up." Then a door opened in the mountain, the 12 men walked inside and the mountain closed. The poor man stood in a tree and watched, and an hour later, the men came out again. They carried big heavy bags on their backs. When they were all outside, they said, close sesame, poo poo poo. Then the mountain closed again, and there was no door in it. The 12 thieves left the forest, but the poor man went to the mountain. He made sure that the 12 thieves were gone, and then said, open sesame, up up up. And the mountain opened for him, too. He thought, should I go inside? Maybe the door will close and I won't be able to get out. Maybe there are dangerous animals inside that will eat me. But he wanted to know what those men carried in their bags. He thought it might be something useful, so he went inside, and the mountain closed behind him. He gasped. The mountain was full of treasures. There was gold and silver and thousands of jewels. They sat in piles, like piles of seeds, but these treasures were so much better than seeds. The poor man did not know what to take. He did not want the thieves to kill him. So he took just a bit of gold, filling his pockets. He wanted to take the jewels, but he thought that the thieves would know, so he did not take any. When he left, he said, close sesame, poo poo poo. The mountain closed, and the poor man went home with a wheelbarrow and lots of gold. With his new gold, the man's life changed. He could buy bread for his wife and children, and they drank wine with it. He bought good furniture, gave money to the poor, and was nice to everyone. When he used all the gold, he borrowed his brother's wheelbarrow and went back to the mountain. Again, he did not take the jewels, and just took gold. But when he borrowed the wheelbarrow for a third time, the rich brother started to ask himself questions. Where is my brother getting this money? He thought. He has a lovely house, lots of food, and he doesn't work anymore. What is he taking with my wheelbarrow? So the rich man had an idea. He put glue in the wheelbarrow. When his brother put gold in it, the gold stuck to the glue, and when he gave the wheelbarrow back, there was still a gold piece stuck to it. Aha! Said the rich brother. He is not looking for apples or carrying seeds. He is taking gold in my wheelbarrow. He probably steals it. The rich brother said to the poor brother, oh, dear brother. You are always working so hard. What have you been carrying in my wheelbarrow? Just some seeds and apples. Said the poor brother. Oh, then what is this? Then he showed him the gold piece. The poor brother went red. You've been stealing, haven't you, dear brother? I should go to the police and tell them what you did. No. The poor man thought of his family. Please don't. I will explain. And he told his rich brother everything. Afterwards, the rich man decided he had to go to this mountain himself. Sure, he was rich, but he wanted to be richer. He found the mountain and cried, open sesame, up up up. The mountain opened, and he went inside. He saw the gold, the silver and the jewels, and he knew what he wanted. He filled the wheelbarrow with jewels and left, but the mountain was closed. Open sunflower, up up up. The mountain did not open. Damn. I know it's the name of a seed. Open flax? Open pumpkin? He said all the seeds he knew, but the mountain did not open. Oh no. I cannot get out. The jewels could not help him. Several hours later, the 12 thieves came to the mountain. When they saw the man, they laughed. Aha, our little bird is here. You thought you could steal from us, did you? Twice you came here and ran away, but now we have you. This time, you won't get out. It wasn't me. Cried the man. He pushed the wheelbarrow away. It really wasn't. It was my brother. Yeah, said one of the thieves. Now, are we going to kill him? No, said the leader. I have a better idea. He took a sesame seed from his pocket. The thieves started laughing. Two of them held the rich man and said, open your mouth. No, said the rich man. But when he spoke, the leader of the thieves pushed the sesame seed into his mouth. Close sesame, and never open again. The man gulped. His mouth closed and he could not open it. The thieves threw him outside into the night. The man tried to speak, but he could not. His mouth would not open. He could not believe it. He knew about the secret mountain, he had seen the secret treasures inside, but he could never go back, because he could not say the magic words. He also couldn't tell anyone else. It was a sad life for the rich man. He wanted to tell everyone about the piles of treasure, but they would never know, and he had to eat and drink through his nose, because he could not open his mouth. The poor man was happy, though. He never went back to the mountain, but his family had bread. And when they didn't have bread, he sold the nice furniture or sold seeds. God will bless you. We will continue with the Christmas story. Today we will read the story titled Why the Sea is Salty. Once there were two brothers. One brother was a poor farmer. He worked in the fields, and when the weather was bad, he had no food. but he was kind and worked a lot. The other brother was a rich man who worked on a ship. He was not kind, and he often cheated people. In this time, there was no salt in the sea, so he traveled to other countries to get salt. He brought the salt back, and the king paid him lots of money. One winter, the weather was very bad. It rained, and the poor brother had no food. He went to his rich brother and said, "Dear brother, I know that you work a lot for your money. But please, we have no food. Can you give me just a small piece of food? I will do anything you want." The rich brother hated giving things for free, so he said, "Take this piece of ham and go to hell." "Thank you, dear brother," said the poor brother. As he had said that he would do whatever his brother wanted, he now had to go to hell. So he walked all day, and finally he came to a dark house. Outside, there was an old man with a big white beard. "Is this hell?" asked the poor man. "Yes," said the old man. "Ah, I see you have ham. That is very good. There is no meat in hell, so the devil will want that very much. He has a special millstone on his door. If he wants your meat, then ask for his millstone." When the poor man went into the house, the devil said, "Ah, is that ham? I have not eaten ham in so long. What do you want for it? I will give you anything. Here, I have gold. Or maybe you want a beautiful wife? I could also make you very strong." Said the poor man. "No, I don't want those things. I want that millstone on the door." "Are you sure?" said the devil. "It is only an old millstone. Gold is much better." "No, I will have the millstone." "Fine," said the devil. The man gave him the ham, and the devil ate it with his fingers. Then he took the millstone off the door and gave it to the poor man, who went home. At first, he didn't understand why the millstone was special. But he had a bit of wheat, so he ground it in the millstone. While he ground, he was very hungry, and he thought about lots of food, bread and cheese and soup and salad. Normally, millstones ground out flour. But this millstone did not grind out flour, it ground out the food the man was thinking about. "Amazing," said the man. "Thank you, dear millstone." When he said the words, the millstone stopped making food. "My dear wife. My dear child," said the man. "Come, we will have dinner." He ground out lots of lovely food. The only thing the millstone could not grind out was meat. But that didn't matter. They had lots of food, and they ate well. After the man ground the food, he always said, "Thank you, dear millstone," and it stopped making food. A few days later, the poor man wanted to say thank you to his brother. If his brother had not told him to go to hell, he would not have the millstone. So he invited him to dinner. "Ha!" said the rich man. "What are we going to eat, heir?" But when he saw all the food, he was very surprised. "How do you have all this food?" he asked. "I thought you were poor." "Ah, dear brother," said the poor man. "I have a special millstone. You grind wheat, and it can make anything. Only, it cannot make meat." "Can you grind salt with it?" asked the rich brother. "Salt? Do you like salty food, brother?" "Yes, you can grind salt with it. But you can't eat just salt." "Brother," said the rich man, "I will buy your millstone. How much do you want?" The poor man was surprised. "I am not selling it. Anyway, you do not need it. You have lots of money." "Ah, but I am old," said the rich man. "My back hurts, and I don't like working. I always have to travel to other countries to get salt. If this millstone can make me salt, I can bring it to the king, and I won't have to travel." "But that is cheating," said the poor man. "If the king knew, he would not be happy." "It does not matter," said the rich man. "I will give you 10,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds was a lot of money. The poor man could not say no. "Fine then," he said. "Wonderful." So the rich man gave him 10,000 pounds and took the millstone. The next day, the king told him to go and get salt. He had to go on his ship. If he did not, then the king would know that he was cheating. Then the king would take his ship, and the rich man liked his ship a lot. He rowed the ship into the sea, and then he took out the millstone. "Now, make me salt," he said. He started grinding wheat, and the millstone made salt. "Perfect," said the man. "That is lots of salt." But the millstone did not stop. It made mountains of salt. There was salt everywhere. "Stop, stop," said the man. And still, the millstone ground salt. The whole ship filled up with salt. No. The ship started to sink. The salt fell into the sea. All the men in the ship jumped out and swam back home. "I hate my brother," said the rich man. So the ship sank to the bottom of the sea, and the millstone sank with it.